Questions to ask a contractor before hiring them. When you're getting ready to hire a contractor, the questions you ask early on matter. Not because they guarantee a perfect project, but because they help you understand who you're bringing into your home and how they work. Price is part of the picture, but it's rarely the thing that determines how the experience will feel day to day. What matters more is whether you understand the contractor's process, communication style, and approach to problem solving. One useful question to ask is, how do you handle changes once construction starts? Not because you're planning to change everything, but because change is part of a renovation. A thoughtful contractor can explain how changes are documented, how pricing is handled, and how decisions are confirmed before the work moves forward. You're listening for structure and clarity, not improvisation. It's also important to understand who actually will be in your home. A contractor should be able to explain which trades will be involved, who their lead people are, and whether those same faces will be showing up consistently or rotating in and out. Knowing who's on site and who's responsible for what removes a lot of uncertainty before the work ever begins. You should also know who your main point of contact is and how communication is meant to flow. What kinds of questions are appropriate to handle in person with the lead on site, or what decisions or changes need to go through a project manager and be documented in writing. Clear boundaries here prevent confusion later and help everyone stay focused on their role. It helps to understand how updates are handled as well. That might include daily logs, scheduled check-ins, text messages when someone is on the way, or periodic written updates. The exact tools don't matter nearly as much as knowing what to expect and when. When communication has a defined structure, the project feels easier to follow and less reactive. It's also reasonable to ask, how do you approach scheduling? Renovations involve many moving parts, and good contractors think in terms of sequence and coordination. They should be able to explain how the work is ordered, how phases relate to one another, and how timing adjustments are handled as the project takes shape. Early in the planning phase, scheduling answers are going to be broad. At that stage, the scope is still being defined. Selections haven't been finalized, and there's a lot of unknowns that still exist. That's normal. You're not looking for exact dates yet. You're looking for an understanding of how the project unfolds and what typically happens first, next, and later. By the time the project reaches the proposal stage, the picture should be much clearer. The scope is defined, major decisions are made, and it becomes possible to outline a realistic sequence and approximate durations. Even then, though, the schedule isn't created in a vacuum. Your project needs to be coordinated with other projects that are already on the calendar, aligned with the availability of the trades involved, and timed around the material lead times. Fixtures, doors, cabinets, countertops often need to be manufactured, shipped, inspected, received in good condition before we can proceed. And those timelines directly influence when different phases can begin. Some craftsmen on your job may be long-standing partners rather than employees, which means that their schedules are coordinated, not controlled. The contractor needs to be able to explain clearly how the schedule is developed, what influences it, and how changes are communicated. You're not looking for a perfect calendar. You're looking for someone who understands the moving pieces and can manage them thoughtfully. Another important question is what's included, what isn't. Clear scope sets the boundaries of the work and gives everyone the same frame of reference as decisions are made. And finally, it's fair to ask, when something unexpected comes up, how do you approach it? Every renovation encounters unknowns. What matters is how those situations are identified, communicated, and addressed. You're listening for ownership, transparency, and a steady approach, not guarantees that nothing will ever go wrong.